Hello, YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Happy Saturday. Oh, and I found that material things I thought had so much value. Oh, girl, didn't really have any value at all. Then I was a lonely man. A man with no direction, a man with no purpose. A man with no one to love and no one to love me for me. Oh, then you came into my life. You made my jagged edges smooth. You made my direction so clear. And you, oh woman, you became my purpose. My reason for living, girl, you see. You're my heart, you're my soul, you're my strong inspiration, baby. Lord, that's why I'm sitting here and singing and opening my arms to you. I want to say, child, why don't you? One of my favorite impersonation songs. Hi, people. Happy Saturday. Well, I just spent two hours that I can't get back, so I might as well talk about it. Yesterday, I talked about this situation with Giovanni and TS, and I'm pretty much finished with the story. But I said, well, let me go and see what other people are saying about it. And as I was listening to this guy, Armand Wiggins show, he basically did one of those reaction videos where they play the video and then talk all the way through it or give reaction to everything that's said. While I was watching that, and I was admittedly dozing, this guy, Giovanni, calls into the Armand Wiggins show. So that's what I want to talk a minute about. But first, I want to say hello to you, lovely souls. Hey, Nikki. Princess A, always number one. Bella, Teresa. Happy Saturday, people. Y'all guys, oh, okay. So I don't know. I don't really watch people's videos for 2 hours. I usually don't do that. But I was kind of curious about this situation from the horse's mouth, shall we say. So Armand Wiggins was going off on this guy. He was not taking the side of Giovanni. In fact, I should have saved it where he's talking about it. He calls him a bitch maybe 40 times before he even comes online. So what amazed me was, even after the man called in, he continued to call him a bitch, while the other person, this Giovanni person, is calling him sir. No, sir. You a lie, bitch. That was the kind of conversation. So since I'm not familiar with how this guy runs his show, is that how he talks to his guests? I don't know. I know young people use that word very sparingly. I know every time I use it, somebody jumps down my throat. But I thought the dynamic was interesting. What's most interesting is the language didn't change. All through the interview, this guy, Armand Wiggins, is calling his person who's calling to his show bitch or hoe or something. Always something very disparaging, right? So you guys heard what my view is on the situation yesterday. I don't need to talk about that too much. But I noticed there was a deafening silence came over the interview, right? At some point, Giovanni was telling Armand Wiggins, oh, I heard that you were a cokehead and a pillhead, right? And I'm telling you, I believe you could have heard a pin drop. There was no reply at all. This boy was stung. Now he likes to go, at a very rapid pace and all that. But I'm telling you, there was silence on their subject. And the denial didn't even come till much later on in the interview. So that was one thing I was highlighting. I said, let's talk more about that, honey. I want to know about this coke addiction. And maybe this is explaining some of this energy. Anyway, I just thought that part kind of interesting. Then the other thing is, somewhere in the middle of this thing, I'm not going to talk about no 2-hour video, people, believe me. But somewhere in the middle of this thing, this guy, Armand Wiggins, kept accusing this guy of wearing these periwinkle contacts, right? He seemed to be very preoccupied with the color of this dude's contacts. People wear colored contacts, honey. It ain't that unusual. But here's what was interesting. Because when he confronted him about the periwinkle contacts, you out there having sex with white men and having periwinkle contacts, You must hate yourself and all this kind of, same old shit. The man said, I don't have any blue contacts. I don't own any blue contacts. And he said, you enhance those contacts. So Armand Wiggins has taken this boy's picture. I don't know why he wasn't more offended by it. I would have been furious about that. Because you have taken this child's picture and enhanced the contacts in the picture and then keep flashing it all the way through the interview. Right? So Armand Wiggins seems to think this guy has got a problem with black people because he dates white men, right? I'm saying that Armand Wiggins apparently has a problem with black men who date white men. I don't know how he's in the Bay Area and he's not real familiar with that because it's a common occurrence here in the Castro. Anyway, I was amazed though, because there was no denial. He did not deny that it had enhanced this guy's contacts, which were probably gray or green. That's what black people usually wear. I had already picked up on the contacts, but that what the fuck is that? You think if you put contacts in, that makes you look white? Girl, you don't look nothing like a black guy with color contacts in, honey. He seems to think, oh, you're being white because you got blue contacts in. Shout out the bluest eye. Anyway, so I think Wiggins has got a serious problem with black men who date white men. Like he has some say in what they date. And they have a problem with their own. You have a problem with black people. He kept saying that all the way through the interview. I thought, what does that guy do anything? I mean, you are who you are, honey. You like what you like. Do we get to go over this boy Armand Wiggins, what his type of trade is? He seeks validation because he has a majority view. That was wrong. Don't do people like that. You know, damn thing about this boy's life. But to think that you, all the way through it, even after the man said, I never wear blue contacts, and you have enhanced those contacts that are in my eyes. They were probably green or gray. They dropped it. I wouldn't have dropped that. Oh, hell no. Nigga, you going to change my image? How you going to change my image? Oh, you say nigga or not nigga. Very childish. Now, these people, I don't know how old Giovanni is. He said he's about to turn 40. I guess his Wiggins character is a lot younger than that. So I have to keep reminding myself that it's not really right for me to be trying to review these people, these young people who are half my age. And perhaps they don't think all that is rude or whatever. But he kept on calling this man bitch all the way through. What were the other issues? They talk about some things that I'd rather not talk about. They talk about his HIV issue. Both of them seem to be not wanting to say it, but saying it. Because somebody found somebody's pills. I hate all that shit. I just absolutely hate it, honey. So we're going to avoid that subject. I'm going to talk to you guys in a minute here. So another subject, one other thing I saw in that conversation, and I'm going to talk about it because it cost me two hours of my life, honey. I think it might have went on longer than that because I tried to go back to the places where I thought was so insulting, and they were gone because the damn thing was too long. Anyway, the other thing, I've heard this before. They're saying that T.S. Madison has taken her best friend's furniture. Her best friend passed away. T.S. Madison ends up with the furniture. What the fuck kind of argument is that? Why wouldn't her best friend have her furniture? She has a big house. They're best friends. She even lived there for a while. Why wouldn't she give T.S. Madison? Of course she has her furniture. You think what I'm going to do, bury all this shit in my grave with me? Whoever's closest to me, they can have it, honey. That ain't no big deal. That don't mean you stole nothing from the person. What the hell are you talking about? Oh, you give it to a mama. Child, maybe their mamas live in New York or you live in New Jersey some damn where, child. Anybody looking at all this shit across country? There's nothing at all wrong with leaving your friend, your best friend, person closest to you, all of your possessions. All of it. They can go through and find out what they don't want and throw it away. That's just the way it is, honey. That is a dumb story that they've circulated forever, right? Anyway, did any of you guys see that? I went in and out of sleep on it, but then towards the end of it, I see this dude, Giovanni, he done broke out in tears now. So this is not play acting. This is sincere. He is really emotionally hurt by this situation between him and Madison. Now, it might have just come to a conclusion, honey, come to an end. I mean, does everybody have the same manager that they started with? But he was really hurt because TS wasn't standing up for him like he was standing up for her. You are the employee. You're working. T.S. Madison is the star. Now, they're not going to give the same amount of energy to the damn manager as they are to the star. I mean, that's just the way it goes, buddy. We don't have birthday parties for the managers. I'm sorry, but apparently he took that very personally. So he says that T.S. Madison, when she first started, they wanted to take her career from this porn thing, which is where she made her name at. You know, a lot of people have a lot of prejudice about people who come up hard. Come up hard, babe, but not up cool. I didn't make it, sugar, playing by the rules. I come up hard, but that's okay, cause trouble, man, don't get in my way. Hey, and then you want to go and make all these damn movies about the street life. And you want to have all this rap music about the street life. So you're wrong. On one hand, you hate the street life, and you think you're better than people because you went to college. On the other hand, you love it. You're bumping it in your convertible as you cruise. Cruising on a Sunday afternoon. You see what I'm saying? T.S. Madison has her life. She's not ashamed of her life. She says she's never taken down her porn sites. It's not a shameful thing to her. She remembers where she came from. Now, you might think it's a shameful, horrible thing. You got to get away from it. But that's not necessarily the way she feels. Your life is your life, honey. Don't let nobody take your history and throw it in the garbage and give you a new history. No. But he feels like he was able to change her direction and move her, which is kind of a unique thing, from a porn star to a internet sensation. Remember now, before this corona hit, they were on the road all the time. I mean, they were doing shows, and as far as being a media sensation, they had taken it to the streets and actually turned it into a profit. So maybe he did deserve a lot of credit, whatever. But you fell out, honey. There are a lot of marriages in life, relationships that were beautiful in the beginning. They were great in the beginning, honey. You can't take that away. I think about my deceased partner. I mean, every day I think about him some. Even now, he's been dead for 30 years. So, but at the end, it wasn't great. It wasn't wonderful at the end. So I'm just saying that good things come to an end, honey. And he's not over it. But well, I just lost my chain of thought. Anyway, damn, I lost my chain of thought. I hate this old shit. Okay, so was there anything else in that conversation there? No, but at the end, what was offensive was when this guy broke down in tears and he was actually crying and so the actual truth was coming out that he was a very hurt person. And he felt like they started as a team, but when the end, it was all about the star and not about the manager, which is the truth almost always. That's the way it is. Break up to make up. That's all we do. First you love me, then you hate me. That's a game for fools. Gio, don't come online with no more of this shit. Listen, why are you saying that it's not about the money and then you keep bringing up the money? You continually bringing up the money, showing us receipts, and now you spill. And when you're in this conversation, you're saying, "Oh, that's not all the money I got." You're saying that's just the PayPal money I got. See, so you changed it up. So there's always a possibility that he was getting checks before they started all this PayPal and his Cash App and all that. They weren't really doing all this Cash App stuff 7-8 years ago, right? So he's saying now that that's not all the money I got. That's just what I got from PayPal. And that's just what I got from, it looked like it's 15,000. If it was 15,000 from PayPal and 30,000 from the other thing, Cash App, so it's about 50 grand. But see, it's because we're conflating this thing like it's a 9-to-5 job. It's not a 9-to-5 job. If you're booking people, I mean, you're on the phone for an hour. A couple follow-up calls, right? So it's just something that ended. He wasn't dissatisfied with the money or he wouldn't have stayed that long. You know, it just worked until it didn't work anymore. Like in relationships, Y'all know how it is. Y'all all in love and y'all got these baby daddies, baby mamas and stuff. And then at the end, you don't even want to see them when they pick the kids up. Y'all go way down on the porch. I don't want to look at him. That's the way it goes, buddy. Sorry. But yeah, I didn't like all this stuff. People do this about this race thing. I don't like that kind of shit. I guess I kind of deal with it all my life. I mean, mostly it's just a joke, you know. You like this, you like what you like, honey. You ain't got to explain it to nobody. Ain't nobody got to be up in your draws. You ain't not allowed invited into their draws. Why you like light-skinned ones? Oh, you hate yourself. Oh, you got a problem with yourself. Girl, please. Why you like the muscles? Oh, that's because you skinny and you hate this. Oh, you hate yourself because you're skinny. No, I like muscles, honey. I like muscles all over his body. Y'all see how Michael Jackson worked that one in? He wasn't out or anything like that. Never did come out. But he had wrote the song for Diana Ross. So Diana had to go out there and talk about the muscles, honey. Anyway, I thought it was kind of interesting. Gio, he needs to find something else to do. Let this go. You can't go back to where it was, honey. You just can't. It's over. Call it a day. Sorry that it had to end this way. Too much, too little, too late. Too heavy. How y'all doing? I'm just running my mouth today. Running my mouth on today, honey. Come through. Hey, hi, Teresa Hopkins. Did any of y'all see that call or hear that call? I know a few of you will go over there and do it now. Another thing that Giovanni kept talking about T.S. Madison's. These guys are almost kind of childish. Talking about what do you call it? Thing? What's the game called? I know y'all know. Para something. The private page. Is it Periscope? I have a brain fart again. Lord have mercy. 3 or 4 in one damn setting. It's called Periscope, right? Yeah, I hate people always promoting their Periscopes or whatever, but he is doing more promoting than anything else. Hell, if I didn't know better, I say that y'all don't work something out because you keep talking about this child's Periscope. Or is it called Periscope? Please help me. I know somebody gonna put it in here. Patreon, praise Jesus. Now, y'all know I probably hear the word Patreon mentioned at least 40 times a day. This is 62, honey. Patreon. I do know the word. The worst part about it being old, one time I went to my bank, right? And I had forgotten my PIN number. All these white folks were lined up behind me wondering, why am I putting in different PIN numbers and shit, child? Like I was robbing the bank. No, it happens. Thankfully, it's not all the time, though. Yeah, so he kept telling her he is really offended because she got a Patreon. Child, there's certain things about being the star. If you're that interested in making a name for yourself, and I see he has, gained quite a bit of subscribers here. Some people will relate to it. People have had problems with bosses and things like that. But you're gonna have to make your own mark. Don't be worried about what that child's doing. So she got a Patreon. I just don't see Giovanni how your saga or your story will be that interesting to be talking about over and over again on Patreon. Now, are we talking about somebody mentioned somebody once or twice? I mean, you were a part of her life. So you were on somebody said something about me. They said something about me. You're not letting it go. You got to let it go. This is the kind of situation when the people they get divorced and they start stalking the ex-wife. Let it go, brother. Do something else. If you get offline with this thing, people will forget about it in a week. So the more you talk about it, see, you came on Armand Wiggins' show today, talked about it for 2 more hours. The more you talk about it, the more they're gonna stay on their mind, right? Now you're mad now because people are reacting negatively to you. Well, they wouldn't be acting negatively towards you if you had not brought this thing back up again. And the more you talk about it, the more you're going to get haters. Even when you're good and sweet and wonderful, you're still going to get haters, right? Just let it go. 2 weeks from now, they'll be talking about something totally different. 5 or 6 different things have happened since then. Okay? All right. I can't believe I forgot Patreon, but it happens to me all the time, man. Yeah, he was being emotional. He was crying and everything. But if somebody don't acknowledge your birthday, I mean, it's okay if it's maybe if your husband. I know women are very sensitive about that stuff. About you forgot our anniversary. Maybe it's the day they remember their anniversaries. You forgot my birthday, or you forgot something like that. You know, but you can't tell people what they have to do. Who wants a birthday party where you don't force the people and blackmail them to have a birthday party for you? Say happy birthday. If they forgot, they forgot, honey. Apparently there's quite a few people involved. Maybe they don't remember everybody's birthday. Maybe they remember the other person because the other person's brought it up. Many people will drop hints towards their birthday, but because she didn't remember your birthday. Stuff that's just childish, child. That's just childish. I can't see how anyone would want to his messy ass as a manager. Kanza, be nice. They were fucking. Oh no. Then there was some talk about a porn about the situation. Apparently, Armand Wiggins is not innocent either, because he had a problem with Gio for a couple of years, and apparently the problem they had was Armand Wiggins had made in some interview some reference to a sex party, and Gio didn't find that very professional, and so he advised T.S. Madison to get away from him. That was messy as hell, and you need to protect yourself. Well, as the manager, that's kind of what was his job. Wiggins don't take no responsibility for that at all, you know. So you guys watch Armand. That's the guy half my age. So I don't know if they're familiar with him, but he is a very arrogant person. I mean, he's still calling that man a bitch, even though the man was calling him sir. Maybe that's how the young ones do it. I don't know. But it is tacky if you're going to be bringing up somebody's got let's say a colorful past, and you're interviewing them, and you want to bring up sex parties and stuff like that, and then you want to accuse the person of being having disease and not disclosing and all this stuff that we don't have no facts about. Nobody knows anything about that damn thing. I'll tell you that not everybody discloses. There's been tremendous advances made in HIV. I'm not saying that is the situation at all. They're basing all this because somebody saw a pill bottle. But what I'm saying is this. People who are undetectable. So everybody that I know who has HIV is undetectable. They're saying now that you are not able to pass this virus. People who are protecting themselves, they take PrEP. They take PrEP. If they're really, really into it, they take PrEP and they wear rubber. People are taking care of their business. We don't know anything about their business. We have no idea what their arrangements are. We don't know that they're both positive, one negative, both, whatever. Take care of yourself, people. But I agree that was tacky as hell. We don't talk about like that around public spaces. Sex parties and all. You gonna do interviews with everybody in the damn sex party? Anyway. Oh man, it's disgusting. Thank you. I agree there, Valcor. I wasn't impressed with it. Even when the person was trying to be nice and trying to talk, he was still calling them all kind of bitches and no, bitch, you bitch, this bitch. Whew. I mean, I call gays. I use the language, but not like that, honey. Not so evil. You're a lying bitch. So I guess people like it. Armand has a following. I guess he'd become a witch doctor or something. Because in the middle of the interview, he whipped out his card and stuff. So is this the modern Cleo? He's not whipping out cards. So every time the man says something, then the man been talking for, I don't know, 20 minutes, something like that. But now every time the man says something, oh yes, I was just saying that on the card. Oh yeah, oh, you feel emotional. He feels emotional. You know that because he's crying, honey. I don't think the card told you that, Armand Wiggins. Oh, I can see that you're hurt. Ray Charles can see he's hurt, honey. Lord have mercy. Everything is blamed on the cards. He started turning Derek cards. What do you get powers? Do powers come late in your 20s, in your late 20s, early 30s, honey? Do you all of a sudden get the powers? Or do you just go into a store and buy some cards, honey? I don't know. I guess he's going to become one of the super spiritual. Wiggins, he started, how long has it been? A couple of weeks he started. I guess he did his background. He did his holy background. I mean, his spiritual background. Changed his set. And then he got his cards. And then he was getting 20, 30,000 views every video, right? With the celebrities. So he went down to maybe 1,500 views. 20, 35,000 to 1,500. So I guess he figured he can build this up. Now, one thing about these people who have these magical powers or pretend to have magical powers, honey, they got a built-in hustle. So I don't know what information he's got, but if you can convince people that you got some kind of powers, you can see into the future and all this kind of stuff, you can get in that money, honey. I'm just saying. Whole lot of old widows have signed their property over to these soothsayers or whatever you call them, swamis or something. Hey, Gwen. Blessings from Chicago. Hi, Gwen, Washington. Chicago. You guys going through. Ooh, they're really going through in Florida, right? Hurricanes. They have that all. I guess people don't consider all that when they build their beach houses and stuff. Seems like a certain kind of people, they love that water, but I mean, they have hurricane season every year, don't they? Anyway, I heard they were really going through. It must be hard to get insurance though, or it must be extraordinarily expensive because they got to go through it every single year. I remember it's a fake as a $30 bill. Barack. Yishkaria? Sometimes I'm better off just say Barack. Okay, Barack. I think I can get that right. Armand is as fake as a $30 bill. How you gonna all of a sudden turn into be? It's like me telling you all of a sudden now I'm a pastor. I start giving out advice and collecting coin. Girl, changing horse in the middle of the road. But we ain't hating that much. We just saying people like him, you know. But I see that those coins are not coming in, so he's going to do his celebrity gossip on certain days and then other stuff on other days, whatever. People are always on here trying to find different what their content's going to be, you know, making adjustments. But he shouldn't be so rude. I thought he was rude to that guy. I mean, he did call into your show, which is going to drive your ratings on your show. Why are you being so nasty? Did he ask you to call him a bitch? Did you have an agreement? I mean, before the guy got on the phone, he was really just a girl. I don't expect you to kiss my ass, but goddamn, can we use my name at least? Milwaukee in the house. Hey, Milwaukee, where you guys from? We gotta get used to this idea that people are from all over the place. Okay, Patreon. I ain't signing up to nobody's Patreon. I just don't like paying. I don't like the idea of some guy on YouTube, honey, going into my check every month. That's something that bothers me. Because then most of them are not asking for any money, really. I mean, I guess $5 is about the medium, but some of them are asking for $2 or whatever. I just don't like the idea of people getting into my paycheck. My gym, the YMCA, they require that. Some businesses actually require that they have to take money out of your check. I just don't like giving up that kind of power. I'd rather just give you the money, you know. But I guess all the tea comes out on Patreon. I don't know how people going to have tea every day. Seems more like you're going to use a couple of tea to get you in, and then they're going to be stuck in your paycheck for the next year. Thank you, Teresa Hopkins. At the time, if you repeat the same thing, it's going to push people away and people are going to get bored. Right. At the same time, if you repeat the same, yeah, they're both repeaters. But this guy, Giovanni, man, he must have said 100 times about this woman's Patreon. You got to give her $5 because she needs it. She got to give her. I think Giovanni. Now we're just guessing here. You probably could use that $5 a lot more than T.S. Madison. You're the one doing a career change in the middle of a pandemic. Now you say you have other streams of income, but you did not elaborate on what they were. This would have been a good time for you to promote whatever your other businesses are. So don't say that it hurt. I don't think it's all about the money, though. I really don't. I don't think anybody would have stayed that long if it was about the money. I think it was about the rejection. Right. So who knows? Maybe they could fix it up. You got to be careful when you fall out with people because you can run your mouth. It makes it almost impossible to make up. Where you could have made up to break up. That's all. How do we know that for the last couple of years, it wasn't neither one of us wants to be the first to say, farewell, my manager. Goodbye. Could have been that. They could have been getting on each other's nerves for a while. Mm-hmm. You got to let it go. Think about another lover, TKO. Whoa. Think I better let it go. Let it go, baby. Oh, what's all this singing lately? I don't know. Because I know I ain't got no voice. I don't watch him. This is the longest I ever watched that Armand Wiggins person. I know sometimes him and Wally go at it. So I guess I do understand this part because Giovanni let Wally's name slip out at one point, and he threatened to shut the show down. Oh no, you say that. Oh, we don't say that here. He said, damn, what'd I say? The name can't even be. So Wally can't even be mentioned in the presence of Armand Wiggins. I've been there, so I still don't think it's right to be rude to your guests. You know, common decency. Oh man, it's disgusting. Okay, well, I've backtracked now. 200 watching. Is that what we got? Where's the numbers at? I don't know, 209. I don't know. Let me see. That's how they gay men talk to each other. I don't like that word and tell everyone to call me again. All you got to do is say, "Don't call me bitch." I mean, if it offends you, tell them. But if you don't tell them, obviously this guy doesn't have a meter himself. I mean, I use if I'm going off on somebody, honey, particularly if they're a male, I feel very strange about it with women. That's why I don't like arguing with women. But all hoes bar when you're talking to men. But they weren't arguing. They were having an interview. You know. Sometimes you're talking to young people, they didn't call you queers and faggots and all. Say, goddamn, girl, slow down. Let me take it all in. Hell, when I was a child, a queer was a bad thing. I guess now it's a celebration. I have PEP in case I need so what? Mm-hmm. You have PrEP? Okay. Right, you can't look on the outside of somebody and say, oh, all their business is because you saw a damn label on the bottle some damn where. And shit happens, quiet as kept, half of them damn bottles, the names sound just like 100 other pills. It's only slightly different. They put an I on the end. I guess that means it's a statin. So I look for the I at the end of the word. But all them words, so you don't went in somebody's pocketbook and then you don't went back and looked up the word. You must have really been in that woman's pocketbook. You done looked it up for dirt. That's somebody you don't need to be in the presence, period. Let me see. Well, it's Madison's career. I mean, you're on the back burner, honey. You're behind the scenes. It's her career. So I guess this is probably not an unusual story for a lot of people who work with celebrities, because usually they start off together, right? And at some point, the celebrity, the one who is the star, takes off. And many people leave their husbands behind or their wives behind because the wife can't take all this attention is showered on you, and now I'm nobody when we started off as equals, as partners, right? Sometimes these dudes, they get it. The woman puts them through school and they work together and they're a team and all this kind of stuff. And then when his career starts taking off and now he's making all his money, he want to trade her in for a newer model. There's a lot of hurt, you know, when you are working behind the scenes with other people. You not progress. I think the best thing is probably you both have a career. Or some people feel like, you know, the man brings home the bacon and the woman takes care of the house, whatever your arrangement is. It's probably pretty hard when one person starts taking off and becomes important and you become less important. I know a lot of these people in show business, they may start off with their boyfriend as their manager or their brother as their manager. As they become successful, they need professionals. So yes, your days are numbered, honey. So you feel like I made you a star. That's just the way it is, honey. Now this person needs a real professional manager that can take them around the world and take them to the next level. So a lot of people get left behind. But don't let them see you sweat, Giovanni. Never let them see you sweat, honey. You go on and you find some tidy. You go to a whole lot of shows. If you miss that life so bad, you go to a whole lot of clubs and a whole lot of shows. And you watch a whole lot of stuff online, and you find somebody that you believe in. You believe I can help you. I can help you. And you approach that person just like you did with Madison. And look what I did with Madison. Even though you guys don't get along anymore and you fell out and all that kind of stuff, they still have to look at, well, look, Madison did get a career. You know, you find somebody else, you build them up. But rest assured that so you got to be careful with your contracts and things because at some point they may not need you anymore. He is jealous of Madison. I done went backwards. I ain't going forwards. Hey, Milwaukee, I've been there before. I've been to Milwaukee. I went to the Summerfest as a teenager. Who is Giovanni? Oh, no, we can't do that, baby. Tiffany. You got to go do your research. But I think if you just go to watch his show today, Armand Wiggins, you'll see the whole story because he played the whole interview with Giovanni or his whole rant first. And then Giovanni called into the show. So you can pick it all up if you're interested. It's a good way to kill a little time. It's like watching a movie. Hi, Armin Brown. Nicole Reloaded. I went to find your video on this situation, Nicole Reloaded. I couldn't find it. You have more than one channel? You said you broke it down into 6 parts, I think, the situation between those two, or 3. Armand. It's not Armand. I think it's Armand. Armand Wiggins. Is there a D on there, or is it O-N, Tiffany? I believe it's A-R-M-O-N. He's got about 100,000 people. So his numbers have grown up. Listen, if your numbers are going up, I guess people don't see any reason to change. But why is he getting to 100,000 subscribers and now switching to being a Swami? I can see the numbers have taken a nosedive. Somebody probably told him that if you can get these people to believe that you have powers, they'll give you their money. It is the truth. Okay, I'll go look again, Nicole. I don't have a backup channel. I guess if I get into a heated thing with somebody, they could probably shut me down, tear me up. I have another channel, but I've never used it except for when I was in the hospital. I was going through my cancer. I started a channel on my phone. So I guess I could use that. There's only one video on there, I believe. Armand. Armand instead of Armand. I am always going around this damn microphone. Okay, there we go. Okay, thanks, Nicole. It's too damn long. The level of messiness. It's too long, people. Any of you guys in Florida? You know, people would say, looking on the outside, people say, why are you living in Florida? Don't you know they have the hurricanes every year? Why are you living by that water? Don't you got to shut down every year? Well, you can say the same thing about California. Don't y'all have don't you have earthquakes there? I mean, I've only experienced two that are significant. They have little ones all the time. It's gone fall into the ocean, you know. So every state has its issues. Look at all the shit that goes on in New York City. They got freezing cold to muggy hot. And then they have hurricanes and things. Remember that big thing? What was the thing with Christie a few years ago? All these states have problems. They all have issues in it. Roll with the punches. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know where to run. You never count your money. While you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Does that mean I hate myself on my own Wiggins because that guy's white? People tickle me with this shit. Everybody's always trying to be important. They always try to be, oh, you like white boys. It was always a curious thing to me. What difference does it make what the fuck I like, honey? I mean, a lot women get mad because a lot of times these celebrities and these athletes, they get rich and they get involved in interracial relationships. But people get involved in interracial relationships anyway, honey. You don't mean you hate yourself because you like somebody else. You may be fascinated. You may think Chinese women are the most exotic things in the world, honey. You see them, it just excites you. It looks good. That don't mean you hate yourself. You still black. I wouldn't give a goddamn how you feel about it. I wouldn't give a goddamn. Who's that guy? Rick James. He used to ride around Hollywood. I used to live in Hollywood. He would ride around Hollywood with like the whole car, his Rolls Royce. It was convertible. It'd always be full of white women, right? Does that make Rich James less black because his car is full of white women? No, he's just a black dude in the car with white women, honey. You are what you are. God decides who you are, honey, not you. So people think, oh, I wore this dashiki. I mean, I'm more black than you. Oh, you're not black oriented. Look at me. Look at me. Everybody wants somebody to look at them. Everybody wants to be more important than somebody else, honey. I ain't like that part, Mr. Armand Wiggins. And I saw you repeatedly going after it. And then you keep showing that guy with the blue contacts. Why are you showing his contacts? He said that you enhanced that. You changed the color of his green contacts to bright blue. And you continually put it up there. And he said that when he said that you enhanced those eyes, you did not deny it. So that's something going on inside of you, dude. The hell's the business of yours who somebody else likes? Oh, you hate yourself. Oh, you must hate your girl. I don't have no desire at all to fuck myself. None. If you do, that's your business, child. Damn. I was worse than the white folks. Hell, they used to hang our ass just for looking at a white woman. Just for looking at her, you be lynched. That's what all lynching was about, most of it. Now you got a choice. You still shackled. Girl, that don't make you better than nobody else. You ain't no blacker than nobody else. It don't mean shit. That means it's something you like. Or maybe you like that particular person. Or maybe there's something about that person that you've just fallen in love with. Sex and love, different things. You can be attracted to a certain, some characteristics, whatever. And it just makes you hot. So that's when they say, oh, you mess with them. But usually, I mean, ideally, you would be with somebody, right? You would fall in love with that person. Get past the color. I mean, maybe the attraction, you have to be attracted to each other, but you're mutually attracted to each other, right? So who are you to stand and put your feet in somebody else's love life? Please. Please, 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 people. If one ain't shit, all the rest of us ain't shit either. Y'all better be leaning on the Christos. the Christ. That's the only hope we got, baby. It's the only thing holy. Only thing touching this planet is holy, Jesus the Christ. That makes us all the same. Omar better get him a life and a school with his homophobic ass. I can't stand people that always have something against gay people. Right. Now you people kind of be prejudiced and stuff. And then you're gay. I mean, people don't even agree with you even liking men at all. But now you like men, but then you want to say, but I like a certain kind. But that makes me, no, girl. No, that make you shit. A lot of souls, Lord. And then I can't remember Patreon. Barack said, I refuse to go outside the 12 tribes. Who are the 12 tribes? Israel. Then everybody got to, Jesus got to be black. Jesus got to be Chinese. Jesus got to be, dark skinned this, and he got to look just like me, or I don't accept him, right? Then you go into the church and you read the Bible about all Jewish people. They're all Jewish, honey. Damn, they're all of them Jewish or Romans. You come out and you paint the Christ black. Well, damn, then you have to paint everybody in the Bible black, right? But you're all so stuck on color. What the fuck difference does it make, honey? It's the purpose, not the color. Thanks, Nicole Reloaded. I got to go on Amazon because I have one other book on there. They show four novels, but there was actually a last one called The Label. So the whole series is about gospel music singers, right? A lot of gay people in gospel music, but it goes on into their character, their love lives, and all that kind of stuff. But at the center of it is a record company that was started in the first book, Love and Gospel Music. And at the end, the last book is called The Label. You'll still see it on Amazon, but it's not on that list that they have there. The Label is haunted, and this last group of people who go to record there. So it involves all kind of witches, and after that one, I said, "Oh, this is done." It started off as a coming of age story, right? And you can't say it's a gay book because there's all kind of mothers and choir ladies and singers and all kind of people in there, right? Just the primary character happens to be gay. So there are a few characters in there. So I don't say it's a gay series. It's a series about love. It's about love and gospel music. And people say, "Oh, you just stole that from love and hip hop. Oh, you just stole that from..." No, honey, I wrote that book before any of those things. I was not even aware of what a love and hip hop was. But they're talking about love and they're talking about the various music industries. I think at some point that series is going to catch on. Let me see. Old School is talking. Who's Old School? What did you say, El? People are talking about it. What is it? Okay. El says, I think that notion that all black women are mad at the world because black men date other races needs to go. Yes, it needs to go because it's 99% wrong. Most people like people in their own race. The vast majority of all races are like people in their own race. There's only a tiny percent people who venture outside. In the gay world, I live in the Castro, honey. It's not unusual. People have all different kinds of certain kind of people they like. Baby. And it's not all based on race. Some people are just strongly attracted to big men. They like to call them bears. And that's all they like. That's all they like. They're not interested in the small person. No matter how nice the small person is, no matter how wonderful personality he's got, they're not interested in him. They are attracted to big men. That's what turns them on, honey. That's a bear. There's all kinds. Some of them like this, all this S&M, and you got to whip my ass and all that. Oh, you hate yourself. Let them people work out what the hell, why they do what they do, honey. But the vast majority of people are like people in their own race. Now, in San Francisco, there's 1/3 of San Francisco, so every 3 people are Asian. So there's a whole lot of Asian women. I don't see this much with vice versa, but Asian women with white men. That is real common here. Why? Because there's 30%, 33% of the population, right? People in big cities tend to mix more than people in rural areas. There are areas, small towns, they don't even know one black person. They ain't never met one. A lot of people, they're fearful of, that's why we don't want we don't want you to be exposed to black people because you're going to fall in love. You might fall in love with one, whatever. So what if 5% of people like to date outside their race? So goddamn what? Damn. Listen, I'll be candid here. I haven't had sex in years. At least I've been in this apartment 10 years. So it definitely hasn't happened in that's 10 years. But even before that, it was like once a year or something like that, right? But my type, my taste, what I find erotic, it hasn't changed. Just like my sexuality, it hasn't changed. You're still, your attraction is your attraction. You ain't got no choice. You can't just go and decide, oh, I'm going to like dark-skinned black people. It's not the way it is. But there are millions and millions and millions and millions of people who naturally like dark-skinned people. It's not a contest. You like who you like. Hopefully you love them. Hopefully you're not just screwing everybody. Because a lot of sex is just that. It's just sex. It doesn't mean anything. But sometimes people do fall in love. Why you enhance turn somebody's like color text? He got a big problem with context, I guess. It's just a fashion statement. That's like saying, I don't like wigs. I don't like no natural hair. You try to be white. But women wear all kind of wigs. It's not your goddamn business. If they want to wear different kind of hairstyles, that's their business, honey. It ain't no different than color contacts, in my opinion. It's just some fashion thing. I don't think you're going to be wearing color contacts, whatever the fashion is. You might change your style up, honey. Please. And believe me, people, y'all listen to Tommy Sotomayor. Y'all see that a whole lot of people got a problem with people wearing wigs. Because they're soft. They look like white people. It's not your business. All this plastic surgery. Oh, I don't believe you ain't your natural nose. Negro, that's my nose. If I decide to change it, I will. Ain't nobody consulting no Armand Wiggins. And no Armand Wiggins, you ain't better than nobody else based on what kind of trade you like. And we don't know what goes on in your bedroom. We don't have no idea. You like a rough trade? We don't know. It's not our business. No telling what some of your nasty people's doing, honey. Trying to put yourself out like you are top. I said one of those cursed names. Tommy Sotomayor. Right. He just hates him. Honey, I ain't no, let's get clear. I am no fan of no Tommy Sotomayor. That man, he ain't there. Nothing but only time I ever even listened to him was that one time when he went off on Miss Five Monster. That's the only time I even looked at him because he hates black women and he's made a career of it. And some people want to go in there and hear that. But no, that's not my tea at all, honey. Mm-mm. Right, Lauren. Hell, it's just fashion. Something you like to do. Even when if we don't wear a wig, a lot of people straighten their hair, change their hair. You can do stuff. You know, if you look back through history, it changes all the time. I was in high school. I used to hate that I couldn't grow no that. My hair never got any bigger than this. But at that time, people were wearing long hair like the Jackson 5 and the Silvers over their shoulders and shit. I always hated that shit. You know. No, Tommy is we don't even want to mention that person's name on it. I think we're all in agreement there, Lauren. But he just was funny when he read Miss Five Monster. Probably because of the way I feel about the monster. Let me say, do your titties hang low? Are they dragging on the floor? Do you throw them titties? Do your titties hang low? Are they dragging on the floor? Do you catch them titties in the back screen though? That was amusing to me for the moment, but I don't watch that dude. Nothing in common with him. And the problem is, the other thing is, all the people who judge everybody, who they're able to be with and who they're able to go with and all that kind of stuff, you ain't going to be with them. So what difference does it make? You worried about who basketball player, who his wife is. You are not going to be with him, honey. I guess a lot of people, that's why they used to, it was so hard for gay people to get jobs in Hollywood, right? Because they said, oh, that ruins my vision of him. If he were a man, I can't see him with a woman again. So people will stay in the closet, right? What is the chance that you are ever going to be with this person? Zero, honey. What the fuck difference does it make? The label prophecy is the newest, greatest of the young people to ever be signed. Oh, yes. Oh, you read it? You read the label, Nicole Reloaded? I like when people tell me they read their books, especially the novels. A lot of people read The Meth Monster. Okay. Yep, that's it. Stratton Records. Yeah, they started off, Dwayne is the primary character. Dwayne essentially is me. You know, a lot of times when you're right, you start off with what you know most. So he started off as like about the second chapter, he's his own person, right? So he is 10 years old, writing to Jesus when he was a kid about the situations going on in his house, the violence in his house and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, he's traveling with his sexuality and all that. And then at 19, he moves to Hollywood. And within about a few months, he meets this guy who is a popular gospel singer. Yes, they are both black, just coincidentally. Joey White. And Joey carries the rest of the series because Dwayne dies at the end of the first book. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say. But they had this life, and Dwayne apparently ends up being his backup singer, and then they make their own record company. Dwayne has a brother who has a church, who he starts a like a storefront church. It's in an abandoned theater, right? But at some point, the church grows, becomes a mega church, and now the same theater becomes their record company, which is the birth of Stratton Records. So, if you like to read, I think it's a great series. A lavender marriage. What is a lavender marriage? Educate me, Lauren. Have y'all seen that show on Netflix? What's it called? Hollywood. It was written by the same guy who did Pose. That's a great little series there. But apparently a lot of the stuff actually happened. As far as gay people being in the music, in the movie business. And women too, and all kind of people, you know, interracial, whatever, everything. That's why we were free people. We're free to choose who we want to be with, where we want to be, where we want to work to some extent. Oh, really? Okay. William Billy Haynes. Okay. Did I miss anybody? Oh, I missed a lot of people here. That man is evil. I've never seen or heard. Elle said that man is evil. I assume you talk about Armand. He's got a heavy language, honey. Just disrespectful. Oh, I was talking about the part at the very end of that thing. We only got a minute left. When this guy is pouring out his soul and he's actually crying in the interview, Armand Wiggins is sitting there smirking and laughing at him. I can't think of anything more insensitive than that. A person is crying on there, pouring out their soul to you on your show, and you're laughing at them. What in the fuck was funny about that? Anyway, guys, thanks for coming in today. Forgive my rambling and my singing. Forget my singing. Ooh, L.A. proved too much for the man. Them stories had a story to them. So he's leaving the life. He's come to know. He said he's going. He said he's going back to find. Going back to find what's left of his world. A world he left behind not so long ago. He's leaving on that midnight train, Georgia. I'd rather live in this world than live without him in mind. All right, guys, thanks for coming in. Take care of yourself. Stay in and mask if you can.